Hey everybody, it's Erin of Scandalous Beauty. Today I'm finally getting an opportunity to show you all a very candid, very thoughtful, very, very real interview between myself and my all-time favorite makeup artist, Billy Brassfield, better known as Billy B. So Billy B, if you don't know who he is, 10-second bio, born in a small town in Mississippi, grew up to be one of the biggest makeup artists known to man. I mean, Kevin Aquan thanked him in one of his books, like crazy. So we know him from doing Missy Elliott, from doing Mariah Carey, from doing Mary J. Blige, from doing the Dixie Chicks and Sharon Stone and Kim Kardashian and Kelly Rowland and Beyonce, and I mean everybody. He's done everybody. He just finished with Dolly Parton, and he just did a spread with my darling, one of my favorite people ever, Esperanza Spalding, in InStyle magazine this month. So I'll be doing a write-up on that. Anyway, the point is, we have a really awesome few weeks worth of interviews that I would like to publish and show you all to learn from. It's just very, very real. We did this one night on Skype, and it was just me and him vibing for like an hour, and it was so much fun. And he talked about everything. He's real. This is uncensored, so just keep that in mind. But I love this man to death, to death, to death. He can do no wrong in my eyes. And I have all of his links below if you want to research him, learn from him, study his work, because I'm telling you, like, I can't even, this is for real. I'm so excited. So anyway, what we're going to do right now is, instead of going through his bio, I'm going to let him talk about one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite reality shows at that, RuPaul's Drag Race. He was a guest judge this season, and he was very real. He let the girls know what he meant and how he felt. And here's some footage from that part of the interview.
I'm going to a bar tonight with all the queens from RuPaul's Drag Race to watch the show.
Yes!
And I'll be meeting them for the first time, with the exception of Shangela and Manila and Carmen that I went into that commercial with for Orbits. Have you seen it?
Yes, because
I beat the hell out of Miss Shangela.
Because let me tell you something, and I don't mean this in any way, shape, or form, and I don't mean this in the wrong way. I just, every time I see Shangela's makeup, I think, oh, Shangela. And when I saw that daggone commercial, I said, her face is beat to oblivion. And I said, now what could have happened? And here you go.
You want me to tell you what happened?
Please tell me.
Well, you know, what you don't see on RuPaul's Drag Race is a lot of conversation and things that go on that, you know, don't make it into the show because, you know, they have to deliver the edit and, you know, whatever. So I was hard on Shangela. I mean, it's, you know, the makeup was an easy target. I mean,
yeah,
you know, he is very talented and he's very funny, and his strengths are, I think, you know, Raja said it, I think last week, his strengths are not the look.
Right.
You know, they're not compared to the other queens like Carmen and whatever, but, you know, it was an easy target, and so we were all, you know, even the guest celebrity judges would be like, you know, Boo, you got to work on your makeup.
Yeah.
And so, you know, one day, and I don't blame him, he got really frustrated, and he said, you know, I hear you, but somebody help me.
Yeah.
You know, tell me, I'm trying, but
right.
And I can't even imagine what they go through, you know, because they get all these mixed messages. He said to me, and it really struck me because I can imagine being in that position. I mean, it's, you know, not a drag queen and not in a competition reality show, but my whole life was a competition. My whole life was trying to be what people thought I should be. And so I identified with that, and I identified with his plea to, well, please help me. I'm trying to do it, and I don't know how.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, in the position that I was in, you know, I was not allowed to talk to them. You know, we could not have any kind of conversation with them. We were basically sequestered from them. So I couldn't help him during the show. But I never forgot it. And it's, I only did the 4 episodes, and shortly after my last episode not shortly after, it was a long time after, I am boarding a flight to New York City and look up, and in front of me is Shangela, out of drag, of course, and he was with friends, and I was like, it was very awkward. I was like, oh God, because I was embarrassed. I mean, I kind of felt that, like, holy shit, now I'm going to have to deal with this, and he might be shady or whatever. And so I just thought, fuck it, I'm just going to go ahead and get this over with. And so I go, Shangela! And, like, he called out, and he turned around, and he goes, oh my God, is this me? And came over, and, I'm, like, completely uncomfortable, and it was, like, awkward, party at 2, awkward. And so, I'm like, so, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to New York. We're getting on a plane to New York. It's stupid. And then I was like, oh, what are you going to do there? And he was, I'm doing a commercial with Manila and Carmen for Orbitz Travel or whatever. And I was like, ding!
Wow.
So, when are you shooting it? And he goes, day after tomorrow. And I go, really? Where are you shooting it? And he goes, in Brooklyn. And I said, what, you guys just doing your own makeup and stuff? And he goes, oh yeah, they ain't got no money. We have to do our own stuff or whatever. And I was like, no, you don't.
Wow.
I'm going to come and do your makeup. And he goes,
wow.
He goes, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
Wow.
And I'm going to teach you or help and explain as I do what I do. And, put my money where my mouth is. And so I'm not just the person that, is going to criticize what you do, but I'm going to do it. And so I went out to Brooklyn and did his makeup, and we had a really good time, and he looked beautiful, and I was really happy for him. And I just think he looks really good in the commercial. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. He gave major face. Thank God. So thank you.
Yeah, I taught him, like, you don't, so much of makeup, the theory of makeup is drag. I mean, it's the same sort of drag tricks and drag applications and all of those kinds of things we can all learn from as makeup artists. And you're stupid if you think you can't. Mm-hmm. Because they're creating the most extreme version of an illusion. And so the trick is to find that balance of what part of those tricks and what percentage of those tricks can work for you in your everyday job as a makeup artist, whether you're doing someone's wedding or a bar mitzvah or a high fashion photo shoot. Those tricks can come in handy. It's just not dialed up to, the highest volume of what they do. And so, I was conflicted, because with India too, India Farah, it was just so much, so much everything. And I love the art of drag. I'm a huge fan of it. And I really respect it. I respect it not just, from a gay person's point of view, but as an art form. And doesn't matter what kind of drag queen you are. If you're a drag queen like Carmen Carrera that goes for realness, or you completely create a character that has nothing to do with realness. I've had experiences with both of those things as a makeup artist, and I'll explain. I mean, it's from, one extreme of, working with somebody like Mariah Carey or whatever, where it's all about, just really natural and sort of feminine and, the girl next door, all the way to Missy Elliott, where Missy became an artist at a time when her label didn't know what to do with her. I mean, she was this outrageous talent, this incredible, unprecedented talent. that didn't fit in the mold of what record labels were signing. She did not look like Little Kim. She did not look like Foxy Brown. You know, she did not look like, you know what I mean?
Right.
She was a heavyset girl that, you know, was never going to be a sample size, that was not stereotypically what we consider pretty. And if this description sounds familiar of a current very major pop star, it's the same thing. It's where brilliance, it was a gift to me to work with Missy. It was a gift to me to have the challenge of creating and working with her and helping her take a fucking hatchet and hack a place for her in the industry. And that could not be ignored. And so, you know, we were so unbelievably successful and in the character that we created, you know, between Hype Williams and her and myself and June Ambrose, the stylist. And, you know, from that first video on in the blow up thing, it was on. And once you set that precedent, you got to bring it. And so I've been used to doing that, you know, for a long time. It's not unlike the Queens, you know. It's, you know, I think that, you know, gay people are very used to just figuring it out. You know, it's nothing is handed to you. And so the wide range of the types of drag queens that there are. Do you know what I mean? Drag is not just drag. There are many levels of drag, and I respect all of that. You know, all of those kind of things. But India, you know, the night that India Farah was voted off the show, it was the night that you know, he had on those you know, fake boobs, and which he always wore. And that ponytail thing all the way to the floor, and you know, pins all over the place. Remember, it was, I said, you have a tarantula on your JJ or whatever it was. You know, it's stuff everywhere, and the, you know, the makeup and all that kind of stuff. And although I understand, you know, that it's drag, there's still an element of what's appropriate that all of us have to learn. And makeup artists, it is a huge lesson for makeup artists, because when you first start, and even well into your career, and I totally get it, because I am this person. I'm speaking from my own truth, is that you want to prove how good you are, and you want to make a mark, and you want the adulation, and you want people to be amazed. And so it's tempting to pull every trick out of the hat every single time. And what makes a really talented person, whether it's a drag queen or whether it's a makeup artist, or no matter who it is to learn restraint and to find confidence in yourself enough to have that restraint. What that really is saying, when you're able to exercise restraint and make choices and edit through this kind of stuff, it's a sign that you're growing, and it's a sign that you do have that you're not as insecure as you were before. You know, when you can make choices other than you know, what is so obvious or what you're so used to doing. And so that's what I meant to India that night when I said, you don't have to pull every drag trick out of the hat every single night. In his New Next Now interview online, what he said about me was, well, yes, I do, because I am a drag queen, and that's what drag queens do. No, that's not what drag queens do. What really good drag queens do are make really good choices. And so let your talent shine through. And it's interesting, this whole season of watching that dynamic behind the scenes and as a fan of the show and me watching the show since I haven't been on it.
All right, so one of the things I was dying to ask Billy, I've been dying to ask him for years, is about the woman that got us through our ups and downs and taught us about being women and being strong and sang to our hearts and was natural and was real and we loved her. It was Lauryn Hill. And I was dying to ask him this. So Lauryn Hill was really my biggest part of my introduction to Billy Brassfield. When I found it, I actually stole one of the pictures from some site and I posted it on the site that I created for women in makeup back when I was like 15. It was like 11 years ago. But that's when I researched and found Billy Brassfield. So here is some of the interview from us talking about Lauryn Hill. First, a gem that we all adored and we've lost her a little bit. Can you tell us about working with Lauryn Hill?
Oh, Lauryn Hill. What an amazing time. It's, it was such a... I have been so lucky to started working with people and sort of held on for dear life as their roller coaster took off. And, it happened with me with Mariah Carey, it happened with TLC, it happened with Pink, it happened with, I'm so lucky in that way. Mm-hmm. And, now with Gaga. And, Lauryn, it was such an amazing time, and she had success with the Fugees, but it was just the world could not get enough of her, during that time. And, she was so beautiful and she was so inspired and had such an incredible fashion sense, and it was such a coup for me to work with her. And what I work hard at doing, and I think that people that aren't in our business just sort of imagine what it must be like. I'm not going to dinner and to bars and hanging out with my clients. I don't, I love them. I've known Pink, we just had, actually with Raise Your Glass, was our 10th anniversary of working together. And when I walked in that day for that photo shoot, she said happy anniversary to me. It was so sweet because she knew. I had no idea. But, it was 10 years of being in someone's life. And, the first person they see in the morning, and in many cases the last person they see at night, and when they're in a bad mood, and when they're tired, and, when they're upset, and all of that kind of stuff. And you get close, and you fall in love with these people, but you don't cross this line, this imaginary line. And so, I care very much about Lauryn, and, we have major history together because I did that whole project and all those amazing videos and stuff, but I've never seen her again. I've never seen her again.
Amazing.
It is amazing. But I did see Rohan in the airport a few months ago, and I recognized him, and I thought, well, first of all, from then to now, I look like dadgum Santa Claus compared, I had like white hair and, I like got old, and I thought, well, I'm saying he ain't never gonna recognize me, and he goes, just the second I thought that, and he's like this, and I was like, oh, Lord have heck, and so I go over, and I'm like, hey, Rohan, what's going on? And, it's like, again, awkward, party of two, your table is ready, because I didn't know if they were still married. I didn't know, what was going on. I had no idea. And so, I'm like making as much small talk as I possibly can without acknowledging the elephant in the room, which is how we know each other, which is Lauryn Hill. Not comparing her to an elephant, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So I'm like, how are the kids? How are, what's going on? And then finally I was just like, oh, shit, how's Lauryn? And he goes, we're not married anymore. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, yeah, we haven't been, for a long time. And, he's moved on with his life, and he seems great. And Lauryn, I cannot believe that child is modeling, and she was pregnant, very pregnant in Do Wop That Thing. When we shot Do Wop That Thing, she was like 7 or 8 months pregnant with this this little baby she didn't gain any weight anywhere else. And it was just, the baby was just sticking straight out of her tummy. And it was fascinating to me because Lauryn is so wise, and she has this, just this feeling about her of this, this wise greatness, like a queen from Africa. I mean, really, just what you imagine about this, regal and intelligent and all of that kind of stuff. And it was hysterical. I will never forget it because she ate dirt when she was pregnant. And I'd always heard those stories about women that crave dirt, and it's like grit. Some people chew Comet or Ajax, or a lot of pregnant women do this. I had no idea. And I had never seen it before Lauryn. And she'd bring her some pot and soil and take it and start, I'd be doing her makeup, and that grit, it would be like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was pregnant. I started, I worked with her through that, that pregnancy and her delivering that baby and all that stuff. And then the other day, I opened a magazine, and that child that was in her tummy when I did her makeup is now modeling.
That is insane.
I know, it's insane. Talk about making somebody feel old. 'Cause I was like,
and she's so pretty. She's so pretty. I think it was Teen Vogue. I could be wrong. I didn't want to say it because I wasn't sure. But yeah, I saw the scans. She's beautiful. She's beautiful.
What I will say, I mentioned in the beginning of this interview, and maybe this is a good time for us to stop for tonight, is things that I regret. Uh-huh. There is nothing that I regret with Lauryn Hill. There is not one photograph, there is not one video, there is not one project that I worked with her that I would change one thing, and I take incredible pride in that. And it's much credit to her, because she had a very, very confident sense of herself and a confident, innate sense of style that she let no one change. Didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter what magazine we were working for. This is my style, and this is the way that I will look, or I don't have to be in your magazine. And, it was an incredibly, when you're a star and when you're in that kind of position, it's very immediate for someone. First of all, they all expect them to be egomaniacs and difficult and all of that kind of stuff. And Lauryn, I don't know how people perceived her, but I perceived it as incredible greatness to be that confident in who you are, and to not let anyone tell you otherwise. Thank you very, very much for watching, and make sure that you follow Billy. He's on Facebook and Twitter. His name is Mr. Billy B on Twitter, and I'll just post all of his links. His new show, Hometown Renovation, will premiere on HGTV May 20th, so I'm really excited about that. It's about all the work that he's done on homes in his hometown of Aberdeen, Mississippi. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you really enjoy the series, and I'll see you soon. Bye.